What? Hey, y'all. Oh, it's not working. Hold on, y'all. Just take a minute. BJ. There we go. Okay. Hey, y'all. Happy, what is it? Tuesday. Oh, jeez. Okay, there we go, light. Whew. Okay. How are y'all doing on this good Tuesday? Y'all, I am tired. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. And I have so much more work to do. And I have a event tomorrow. It's a event. What is it? It's an anniversary event. Mostly people from Africa will be attending, probably about 90%. And a couple of people from the UN in DC. So I'm trying to get ready for that. So can y'all hear me? Please put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me, please. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. And especially on Instagram and on Facebook and everywhere else. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you, Short Court. Thank you so much, Black Small Biz, for participating. I appreciate you. Okay, can y'all hear me over here on Facebook or Periscope or what else is this thing doing? Twitter, can y'all hear me? Yay, nay. Maybe it takes a minute. I just don't want to start again, y'all. So how's your day going while we're waiting? Hold the phone. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, so I'm back, okay, on Instagram. I just want to go see something. So for those of you all who are joining me on these other platforms, unfortunately, for some reason, I cannot see your comments, and I'll have to figure that out later. But I will go back and answer them if you're on Facebook, okay? So last night, number one, thank you all so much for joining me last night. So last night, there were a couple people who sent me some messages, and they said, you know, you talked a lot about your speaking opportunities and things like that, but how did you even get started? And so I haven't shared that story in a long time, and it's based on, they were asking about how did I basically become a consultant internationally? And so, of course, when people ask, this is what you give them, right? And so I want to talk a little bit about that today. So for those of you all who are new to me, my name is Wendy L. Hey, Rosemary. My name is Wendy L. Alexander. I am a cross-cultural consultant. I am an award-winning international speaker and best-selling author, and a cross-cultural trainer. And so I have been doing international business for going over 16 years now. And I love everything about global. I love any type of religion, faith, culture, training, consulting, and I'll put this in the chat, y'all, just in case y'all can't see me. And so, let me just make sure that I get good. Just in case it goes out over here, y'all. And so the question was based around my whole consultancy and how did I get started in the UAE, and probably international would probably be the first step. And so I'm gonna go around this, a long story short, okay? But basically, my husband, who had been doing business overseas for a long time, basically said, I'm going to be now going overseas, and where are we going to meet at? And I said, well, you're going to Iraq and I'm not going there. And so he ended up going to Iraq. And then from there, he's like, okay, so we could meet in Dubai. And I was like, I never heard of that place. And I was asking my friends and everybody, and no one had heard of Dubai. No one had heard of, they just hadn't heard of it. And so I was like, oh, well, I'm not going there either. And so finally, after he went to Afghanistan to do a contract, I ended up deciding to go ahead and go into Dubai. And when I went to Dubai, I was like, am I, I don't know. I was really skeptical, to be honest. I guess because I didn't know anything about it. It was the Middle East. Never had any desire to go to the Middle East. This is my truth. Never had any desire. Never even thought about it. And so I think about that a lot, what I just said, because a lot of people say to me, I never even thought about the opportunities that were there. I never even thought about going global. That's what most women and men say to me when they work with me. And so I felt the same way, to be honest. And so by him actually going over there is what opened my vision and, my experiences and opportunities to the Middle East. Even though I was supposed to be just going over there to visit him, I'm not the type of person that likes to sit around. And so I love to create. I love to create opportunities. I don't like working for people. And so if I work for someone, I've always been a contractor. Any position that I've been in, even as a CEO of a company, I was a contractor. As an executive director, I always make sure I was a contractor. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted my freedom to be able to do what I want to do. And so when you are an employee, people could say you have to take off, you have to do the PTO. And I didn't need that restraint because I knew I wanted to do some type of global, but it wasn't the Middle East. It was more like London. And so I did have a small London contract, but it was very, very small. Nothing like compared to the stuff that I have today. And I'm saying that because I think a lot of times what we look for opportunities, and especially if I'm on the global, we want something big, very quick. And it's not always like that. You have to work small. The smallest thing, even just working with one person and helping them, can open the doors to other opportunities. And I see a lot of times that people get discouraged because they're looking for that big thing to come, and then they don't want to do anything else. And so I always say, you have to have patience, and you have to have more patience when it comes to this. And so from there, I went to see my husband, fell in love with the United Arab Emirates and the people, the culture. And I said, I'm going to have a business here, and I'm going to do business here, and I'm going to have one in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And he was like, no, you're not, because you're African American and you're a woman. So no. Okay. So this is what I think 17 years ago, something like that. Oh, yes, I am. Because I love a challenge. Okay. I'm an only child too. So, right. So I love a challenge. Ended up getting a contract over there doing some training and development work, which was my first start. And till this day is still opportunities in training and development. Okay. From training and development, as I was going over there, I noticed that we were out of training class very early. Okay. Thank y'all so much for joining. I noticed that we were out of training class. If y'all could, I didn't even say, yes, please share the live. Sharing is caring, blessing others. I forgot to say that part. But I noticed that the trainings would end really early. And then depending on when it was, and if it was like Ramadan or prayer time, I had a whole lot of time, y'all, over there. Sometimes I would have like weeks. Okay. Sometimes I would have weeks, honestly, that I would go. So like I would be over there for a week, and then if it wasn't a training, those 2 weeks that I was there, I really didn't have anything to do. And so that happened, and I was like, wait a minute. I have a whole lot of free time to really explore and see what's here. Because remember, I'm supposed to be having this business, so I need to be getting to work. A full business, contract was great, but I wanted to have a business. I wanted to be known there. And so I continue to build during those times when it was a downtime. And I hope y'all are all listening to this, because there's so many nuggets in my story. I continue to build during the downtime. I didn't go sightseeing. I did not, y'all. Honestly, when I lived in Dubai these past couple of years before I came home, because I've been home a year as of Thanksgiving, was my first time really seeing Dubai. Out of all those years, y'all, I didn't go sightseeing. I might have went one or two places, and it was always because somebody was taking me there or it was a meeting or something, because my focus wasn't on that. My focus was building a business. It wasn't about seeing Dubai, and that's the truth. So I'm still like, there's a lot of places in Dubai, even after living there, I still have not seen. And it's always because it's a lot of work. We do a lot of business at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes you could be at the coffee shop at midnight. It just depends on when it is. And so I just really pushed to build my business every single time that I went there and get to be known, I wanted people to know who Wendy Alexander was, what I did. I wanted to be around people, to hear opportunities that were out there. What was it like for a African-American woman, and what was it like as a woman? Like, what was it going to be like for me? What were going to be my challenges? Were people going to accept me? Was it going to be, what type of struggles was I going to have? And so I did a lot of research. And then most importantly, I was learning the culture, y'all. I was learning the culture. I needed to understand what the culture was. How do they do business? Do they do it like the Western people? Do they do it like us? Do they do contracts? What currency do they pay in? How am I going to get paid? Who do I need to connect with? How do I get into the government? What should I do? And so I learned a whole lot. And so what I would do in my training classes is that I was training the government, a lot of the royal family, but mostly the government. And what I would do is I would make those connections within the government. And so when it was time for me to be training, you know how when you put on the whiteboard, you put your name, right? I had gotten really hip to, they use WhatsApp a whole lot, right? So I'm going to put my name, and I'm going to put my phone number, or, back then sometimes it was just my email. I think it was too, like whatever communication it was during the time. I would put either an email or I would put my WhatsApp number, because I was, I wanted not only the center that I was training for to continue to call me, but this is the government, right? So I wanted the government, to also, if they had anything internal, if Wendy did a good job, I wanted them to call Wendy directly. Right. So instead of me being like, so basically the training center brought me in. So I didn't want to say, hey, my name is Wendy. Here's my number, my email. I was very discreet. Here's my name, Wendy. And if you have any further questions, after our training, if you get confused on something, but that's not really what I was doing. Okay. I mean, that was one of the reasons, but the main reason is because I really wanted those connections. And that's the truth. And so, I ended up making some really good contacts in the government, but building really, really good relationships till this day. The same relationships from years ago, y'all, still have the same contacts, the same relationships. Maybe I don't do a lot of business with a lot of them, but they refer me. They, we just have the relationship, if nothing else. And I know I can count on them if I need something. But that's basically how I got started, and I created, from the training, I created opportunities for myself. I would listen. And I think that's the biggest thing where we tend to fail sometimes as being coaches and consultants, is we don't listen for the gaps a lot of times. And I was one of those people, and that's why I'm saying that. It's like, we're just like, okay, I'm going to teach about marketing, and I'm going to teach about sales, and I'm going to teach you this. And then we're so focused on that we miss the other opportunities that are around us. And so I stopped doing that. So I don't box myself anymore. So you will never hear me say this, and this. I don't, because I'm always listening for opportunities, meaning opportunities. What do people need? What type of service do people need? If that means that I got to switch my service from sales to marketing, that's what I have to do, especially if I have experience in it. Make sense? So a lot of times we have to listen to the opportunities, but also the needs. And so when it comes to working internationally, this is the truth. There's no straight, how people say you have this 5-minute pitch and you say you serve and I can't, and all that stuff, right? how this is who I serve, and I'm doing this, and I'm going to be doing sales and marketing. Okay, that's great. We do that, right? We do that here in the States. Yes, you should have that because that's what people are looking for. That's what people want to hear. But when you are going globally, if you box yourself in like that, then you're going to miss opportunities. So I stopped doing that. So now I'm trying to get back into it because I'm like, okay, now I'm going live here in the States more. They're going to be looking for that. That's what they want to hear. Like, what is it exactly is that you are focused on? Well, if I go talk to if I get off of here right now, I go talk to somebody on WhatsApp right now. I'm working on this whole distribution deal with this coffee company for them to be from here into the States, but y'all never hear me talking about that. You see what I'm saying? So that's a huge deal that I'm actually been working on, but I'm not going to say, oh, I'm a distributor, I'm doing X. No, it's an opportunity that came up internationally, and I'm not going to miss that opportunity. But had I said, oh, well, I just do marketing, and I'm sorry, I just do consulting with women to help them start, I don't know, their books or something, help them start a book club, whatever it is, I would have missed that opportunity if I box myself in. Does that make sense? And so a lot of times you have to be careful. So here I can say it. I know people are watching me internationally, but a lot of people who are watching me also know me. But also you don't hear me just saying I'm doing X, Y, X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense? I just said when I came on here, I just told you what my title was. That's what I said, right? I told you what my title was because there are so many international opportunities out there right now that I'm not going to box myself in. I'm not going to say, hi, thank you for joining you all. I'm not just going to say, I help people write books. And I don't do that. I'm just giving you all an example that I help people write books. Okay. So with that, I have this distribution deal that's coming with coffee. I have a lot of distribution deals right now that's going on, but y'all never heard me talk about that. Truthfully, right? I don't talk about that. And so I'm telling you all that because you have to look for opportunities. If you have a skill set, my skill set when it comes to that, I can market and I can sell and I can negotiate. I love sales and I love negotiating and I love a challenge. So for somebody who's trying to get products from another country into the US, that's a challenge for me, right? And I love it. That means I have to do sales and I have to negotiate. I'm pretty much becoming this person who actually owns that product. So it fits what I'm doing. Does that make sense? And so you want to be careful. And I don't want to say, because I do agree with coaches and consultants that tell you that you should have a tight message, but sometimes that tight message honestly can make you miss opportunities. And that's the truth. So a lot of times you'll hear me come on here, I'm gonna give you my title, and that's all you're gonna get. And that's the truth. That's why I say I'm very skeptical about kind of saying it because I don't want to go against another coach or consultant by saying it because I know why they do, because you don't want to confuse people. But in the world of international, when you're especially in somewhere like the United Arab Emirates, y'all, I had about 10 things I was doing. I was doing all kinds of stuff. People say, well, what did you do over there? I did training. I did consulting. I was in the schools doing consulting. I was in the government doing some consulting. I was in the schools doing training. What else did I do? I did a lot of networking events. I hosted networking events. I did events. I did speaking engagements. I was helping somebody start their candy business. I was helping some people relocate to Dubai. Like, listen, when you become everybody over there is the same. We're all the same. We do a whole bunch. And I had to learn to get into that because I was in my American way. Let me do this one thing. And I was missing all these opportunities around me. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I need to fix the way I'm thinking right now. And so I'm still that way. So sometimes I have to try to bring it back when I talk to you all. But as soon as I get off of this live, I'm on the WhatsApp talking about something probably I never even talked to y'all about before. You probably don't even know I do it, but it's because it's opportunity, and it's because it's something that I know how to do. And so number one, I'm gonna tell you all this is that I'm gonna give you all, how many I'm gonna give y'all today? Five things that will definitely help you as a consultant. It can help you as a global consultant or a regular consultant. What skills can you teach someone? What skills do you have? You need to write down, and if you have any questions on IG, You could put them in the box. And Dr. Eve, hey sis, I could see your messages. I don't know why I can't see anybody else's. But you can put them in the question box, or you could put them, just type them. But if I miss it, let me know. But number one, what skills do you have to teach someone? What is it that you can do? And so you know how, hi, Salam. You know how we, let me give you something basic. I'm trying to give you some. Okay, here we go. So here we go. Since I said Dr. E, what you talking about? You talking about somebody else? Oh, maybe somebody else. Okay. So think about this. Let's say you were at this job, okay? Y'all listen close. You were at a job. You took customer service training, right? You know how we go into, orientation. Yeah, they called it orientation, right? And they would give you customer service training. They give you, what is that? Team building, maybe. I don't know. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to give y'all some examples, okay? So let's say they did this, right? And so now you have this customer service training and you have this team building and training, and you take those skills and all of a sudden you become a customer service representative, right? Thank you so much for joining. You become a customer service representative, okay? So now you've been a customer service representative for all this time, and then you move up to a team lead, and now you're in a team, follow me y'all, you're a team lead, and the team lead, that position that you have, you now have to do team building skills, right? And maybe team building exercises and stuff like that with your team, okay? So you did that for 2 or 3 years. So now you have customer service, you have team building. That's a skill, right? That you have. Those are skills. A lot of times when we are in these 9-to-5 jobs, we don't write down the skills that we have. I take people's resumes and CVs because we get stuck in this, and I will take the resume, and I haven't done this. Maybe I need to do this again. I have not done this in a while. Sorry, let me write a note. So I'll take the resume and CV and I'll say, here's a skill and here's a business. Here's a skill. This is how you make it a business. This is a business right here. And so I'll break it down and show them how many businesses they have, how many skills that they have. And then you can take the skills that you have and you can train and teach people. Now, you can train and do those same things internationally or locally. I decided to go global. Okay, so I took my customer service, and this is a true story. I took my customer service skills from me being a customer service rep all those years. Then I took my training because I was a trainer, and I took those team building skills that I had, and I went to the United Arab Emirates, and my first training was on, team building. All right. The second training was like customer service, and then I did body language. And till this day, those trainings are still offered. And a lot of you are probably saying, customer service. Now, our minds are thinking that I had, tell the truth, 15 PowerPoints, and it had all the little pretty stuff, and it had like 15 or 20 different points and all this stuff on it. No, my PowerPoint consists of maybe 1 or 2 lines, a YouTube video, and some exercises, the hands-on exercises. I need to post those. I'll post on my Instagram and my Facebook because I took pictures of the training class. That's what it was. Why? Because they spoke Arabic and I had a translator. I didn't want to make it difficult for my translator. I didn't want them to get frustrated as participants, right? So I had to bring it down to a really, really lower than high school level for everybody to understand and feel comfortable, to the point where I really didn't even need my translator. And they felt so comfortable because they knew, most of them knew English, or some of them was like, I can understand a little bit if you take it slow enough. But overall, they were able to get everything that I was saying. And I ended up, my first training opened doors for me till this day. And I was actually asked from the government multiple times, and different centers that come do trainings. And so it's not a hard thing to do, but you do have to break down what skills that you are able to teach? What skills are you able to train? And a lot of times, a lot of us are doing all these live streams, and then I'm even buying from a lot of people, and I'll go on their page, and this is only because of the consultant in me, okay? And I would look, and I was like, they're not even shipping internationally. They're not even shipping internationally, and there's so many people, especially in the United Arab Emirates. I can tell you, like in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, where we love American clothes. I'm American, but some others who are not Americans love Americans' clothes, and they love our books. They love the things that we have, but we don't even offer it. We won't even ship. So we miss an opportunity. There's so much money that's being missed from some of these big, big brands right now that are on IG. They're not even shipping. And they're in probably number one, they're thinking the same thing I thought. I never even thought about it. I never even thought about going global. I never even thought about international. I don't want to deal with international shipping. Oh, I'm sorry. The international shipping cost is going to be too much for them. You can't determine someone else's pocket for what they want. When we want something, we pay for it. No matter how much it costs, we pay for it. At the end of the day, we're going to pay for it if we want it. It's the same thing. When I was living in Dubai, Amazon, I was so excited when Souk actually was bought by Souk.com, was like Amazon. Amazon bought them, and I was thinking that I was going to be using my Amazon Prime. Wasn't using Amazon. Listen, that cost was crazy, but I was still buying it. You could best believe I was buying everything. Look, it would cost me $0 to ship it in the States, but I had to pay for one book that might have been $6 or $7. I ended up paying $30 just to get it to Dubai, but I did it because I wanted it. And it's the same thing. And so you can't look at it and say, and if y'all don't hear nothing else I say, especially y'all who are service providers, also for those of you all who sell products, stop counting people's pockets and assuming that they're not going to pay, because you're missing opportunities. I am someone who has lived in different countries, and I'm telling you, we pay. They pay more than me. They get Amazon every day in shipments and boxes from the US. They pay. For those who will ship to them, they will pay. For those of them who will ship, they will pay. I promise you, I've seen it. That's a big key. That's a whole nugget for some of y'all. So if you have said, and you have been like, I don't feel like dealing with international, you missing a whole lot of money. Matter of fact, the international people are more loyal to you than these locals, because half of us want to do chargebacks and say you ain't got something and be wearing it. You ain't got to worry about them doing that because they want it. They genuinely want it, and they want to support you. But we don't even want to ship because we don't want to deal with the hassle of it. You're thinking, no, you should go global. What do you do? What do you do? No, so I want you all to really, so that's number, we're going to change the whole mindset. So number one, write down what you could teach someone. What skill do you have? We all have a skill. Y'all all have been, hi, thank you for joining. Y'all have been in trainings. Y'all done something, okay? Something. Everybody has a skill. There's something we can teach someone. And think about it. Just because it's here in the US and you see it all over the place doesn't mean that everybody else is what? This go dark. Doesn't mean that everybody else has it. So don't assume. Oh, that's good. And think about the countries like India. There's, that actually needs a financial literacy and wealth building. It was a forum. I was in some forum, and I'm gonna talk to you. That's my next thing. That I was in, and they were talking about how they needed financial management. Yes, of course, I pray for you. I'm great. How are you? What do you need prayer for? This is Periscope too, y'all. Okay, so number one, you're going to look at the skills that you can teach people. Number two, what opportunity can you create? I've already said that, right? That you're going to create your opportunities. Thank y'all so much for joining and sharing. And then also you want to make sure when you're trying to create opportunities that you're attending events. Please attend events, y'all. Some events are free. There's so many free events right now because everybody's trying to get noticed. And especially if you're trying to go global, there's so many international events that people are having, but I bet you 80%, I'm going to go say 80 because some of y'all are in my training class right now. 80% of the people had taken my training. You're not even looking for international events. You're looking for local events because that's where the mindset is. Switch that look for some international events, attend events, and you're going to look for how you can create opportunities. You then also, there's a bunch of forums online. Join these forums. They will tell you what they need. Go into LinkedIn groups. I'm in LinkedIn groups as a stalker. I never say anything. I'm just in there stalking and looking at people's, this is the truth, looking and seeing what people are saying and what they're writing down, what questions that they're asking, especially if they are, you're welcome, thank you, especially if they are international. And 9 times out of 10, that's all I like to look for, to be honest with you. And so I'm like, oh, y'all need that in India? Oh, really? Oh, I got that. Oh, well, maybe I don't, but somebody else. So I joined forums. You can look for Q&A, like I said, inside of groups. Join groups that are on Facebook that are in the country of your choice. Look at the Q&A, what people are asking. Just sit there, introduce yourself. Yes, there are events all online. You can go to Eventbrite and look for events. Meetup.com. There are events everywhere. Okay. Yeah, they do have LinkedIn groups. Yep. They have a bunch of LinkedIn groups, and just you could be a stalker. You ain't gotta, I'm telling you, that's what I do. I just stalk. I don't. Sometimes I say stuff. If I feel like I can be of service, then I say stuff. But these groups, honey, I be trying to join them groups that are way over my head. Okay. I be trying to learn. I'm telling the truth. Like 9 times out of 10, I can give you a little value if you're talking about international, but some of the stuff they be talking about, they way up here. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to learn. And so learn and I'm stalking at the same time. All right. So you're going to create your opportunities from the events, the forums, and the Q&A from the people, right? So let's talk about this. I'm going to give y'all a real good one. Now, if you go to Eventbrite, thank you for joining, okay? And this person, I said I was going to keep this live up. I don't know about this. This person is the event organizer, and they're in India, right? And you've been trying to connect with somebody in India. Y'all know on Eventbrite, they put the event host. How many of you all put a 1 in the chat? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Put a 1 in the chat. And I need you to tell me, have you reached out, just randomly saw a host name and said, hi, my name is such and such, emailed them, looked them up on LinkedIn, reached out to them, sent them a message saying, I would like to be a speaker. I would like to learn more about your country. Is there any events or anything else that you're hosting? Put a 1 in the chat. How many of you all had honestly reached out to somebody randomly from Eventbrite that's a host, and you put them in LinkedIn, or you sent them an email, because you could send an email? Put a 1 in the chat if you've done that. Thank you for joining, you all, and thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring and blessing others. I have never done that, but I will now. See, okay, so listen. Nobody else, so I'm on these other platforms and they haven't said that either. Okay, so that's a nugget for you all. This is what I'm talking about. This is how you find your opportunities and you create them, y'all. It's so, what they gonna do? Either they gonna not connect with you on LinkedIn, or they're not gonna reply to your email, something, right? But if you don't do it, you'll never know. Rosemary said she did it once. Do it. Listen, do it. I love that. That's the easiest way to connect with people. I'm like, oh, you in London? You doing an event? Oh, I know your event is coming up in 2 days, but my name is Wendy Alexander and I'm an international speaker. Are you still looking for speakers? Well, Wendy, I'm sorry, but we do have all our speakers. Oh, well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and send you my media kit just in case that you need this. 99% of the time, y'all, I lie to you not. The money they cancel. Now, I'm also doing it pro bono half the time when I do this, because it's always a reason for me doing it. Okay. So I'm not worried about getting paid, because I know my payment is on the other side of this. All right. So now I'm this international speaker. Now I'm in this event. Now, what am I going to do? I am going to do what? You're welcome. I'm going to leave the replay up. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to now be inside of the event, and I'm going to connect with all the people in the event. I'm going to take screenshots, and I'm going to be all in LinkedIn. Okay. Before the whole thing gets started, I'm there early. I like to see the participants, and please let it be on Zoom so to show somebody's name so I can say, boop, screenshot. Let me put James McNeil in LinkedIn. Let me see if he's there. Hey, James, guess what? I'm in a event with you right now. It's so good to see you here. I would love to connect with you after it's over. See? Whenever you're doing something, look for ways to create opportunity. Everything has a meaning and a purpose. We are no longer going to go to events just to be going to events and sitting there and let me take my notes. I'm here. No, that's not what we come to do. You're going to take notes, but you're looking for opportunities and you're looking for connections and you're looking to build relationships. Okay. From this point on, that's what we're going to do, y'all. Okay. Number 3, if you're going global, the biggest thing I always say, y'all know what I'm going to say for those who've been following me, is to learn the culture. Is to learn the culture. You can learn the culture the same way, but by connecting with people and building relationships. So I reached out to this lady and she's actually in Singapore. Okay. And I said, listen, my name is Wendy. I'm a cross-cultural consultant. I really need some help understanding how they do business in Singapore. I know a little, but I've been following you for a long time. And I know that you're still living there. And I wanted to know if I could connect with you. Now I have a meeting with her next week. I'm going to talk to her about how they do business. She right there. And I'm going to talk to her about the culture. You know, I'm going to talk to her about the culture. Then I'm going to also ask you, I'm not afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. That's another thing. I'm going to ask, what are the gaps in Singapore? What are you working on that we can collaborate? What can we do together? Are you trying to do something in the US, Dubai, Africa, London, India, wherever else that I might have connection? How can we work together? You have to ask and you definitely have to collaborate. Listen, going into 2021, if you have not been reaching out to people to collaborate, that has to change. You can no longer do it alone. Stop trying to be a lone ranger and collaborate with people. And I know as women, this is the truth, women can't work together. Black women can't work together. Women with other nationalities and races and religions, they can't work together. It's not true. We put that on our own heads and we stop ourselves. We can't do that anymore. We have to work together. And so I'm going to tell you right on this platform, and especially, I love working and collaborating. People who know me, I love it. I love it. I'm going to do more of it in 2021. And especially if you are, and my biggest thing is going to be that you will see more, and it's truth, of me going live and having events with women from different cultures and backgrounds and nationalities, because I used to do that before I went to Dubai. But what I did was, once I got to Dubai, I created conferences, right? The Global Business Connections Conference had the whole entire panel was diverse, different cultures, different countries. I made sure. So then anything that I do from this point on is on live, we'll do the same thing. We did, what did we do, Ashley? Ashley, are you here? We did International Women's event. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, so it was online before I went to Dubai. It was like 5 years ago, right? 5, 6 years ago. And I did it online. There were women from all over the country. I did it very strategic. We stayed up. It was me, the Global Success Society, and we had people from different countries that actually participated. And we were up, y'all, because people participate in different countries. That's right. So we'll have that again. So stay tuned. All right. So for some of you all who have never, you feel like you're a little nervous about making the connections, I got something for you coming. Next, you want to create your CV. All right. Not your resume, your CV. And Resume Workshop Tracy, she's not on here, but that's who I would send you to. Her handle is Resume Workshop on Instagram. Her name is Tracy. She could do CVs. I didn't say resume. You need to have a CV. Now, not everybody will ask for a CV for everything, but usually they do. I haven't had a resume, like the US resume, in, I don't even know, y'all. I don't even know the last time I did a resume. I have a CV. You can also go on Fiverr. Fiverr, they have excellent people to do CVs because most of them are international. So they know how to do a CV. So you need a CV, okay, to have that on hand just in case they ask, because you want to be ready. So if someone said to you, oh, you want to come do training here in, I don't know, Abu Dhabi? Yes. Can you send me your CV? Sure. You don't want to say, and then you got to wait 4 or 5 days or a week to I'm going to send, let me see if I have one. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can put a picture up for you. It's just like a resume. Yeah, I was gonna see if I can put a picture up for her, but I don't think it's gonna let me. But it's just like your resume, but it has your picture on it. Now, we won't go into why your picture's on it for some places. That not today. Exactly. There you go. It has a lot of information about your history. You're welcome. But it's just like a CV, but it has your picture. But it also, like for me, the first thing I put on my CV is that I'm a native English speaker. If you're talking about going global, they want to know that you're a native English speaker. So that shines before anything. I have that before do I have before my degree? I think I even have it highlighted more than my degrees, to be honest. That's up there about 15 million times. And as soon as they say, oh, I see you're an American native English speaker. Yes. They ain't seen nothing about my degrees. They ain't even asked. It was just a fact that I was a native English speaker. All right. Number 5 was, okay, you want to make connections and build relationships. I talked a little bit about that, making sure that you build relationships. So this is the thing, especially if you're talking, you should build relationships, genuine relationships anyway. Okay. You want to make sure that you make connections and you build genuine relationships. Y'all don't be connecting with people just because y'all want to go to Dubai. I'm just saying, don't really make some genuine relationships and say, I really want to really understand your culture, because let me tell you something. All of my relationships I created, they are very genuine. Like my clients are like my family. That's the other thing. Here in the States, we have very tight boundaries, and we should. I get it. But when I was living in Dubai, even like probably anywhere in the Middle East that we stayed, those boundaries don't really exist because of the culture. They know all about my family. I go over there. Like, can you imagine going over your boss's house, and saying, knock, 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 hey, I'm here. I came to eat. What y'all doing? And it's okay. Yeah, come on in. You coming over this weekend? That's how it is, So it's not like here where it's like we would never, ever do that. And so you create these genuine relationships because they'll always look out for you. Let me tell you something. I have like the best connections, y'all. The best connections in the world. I am able to, no. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Something's going on with this thing. Let me put Dr. Lee thing. Let me put her here because it keeps messing up. Okay. So I have very, very, very genuine relationships that I have built over the years. Like I said, I get messages all the time, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because of the time zone, y'all. How are you all doing? How you doing, Miss Wendy? When are you coming back? People just pop up in like that before calling first. Oh yeah, there is no calling. You definitely don't call anybody. They just come over. So I had to get used to that too. Now, a lot of Americans are over there, so we would call because we're used to don't be coming well. But no, most just, hey, I'm coming. I call because I'm just still American. I'm like, I ain't showing up at nobody's house. But they will. But they're, on Fridays especially, they'll invite you over. It can be high-level officials. That stuff doesn't matter. It's just that they are about hospitality, family, and getting together. That's what they're about. All right. So my bonus is also making sure that you study your craft of your genius, whatever that is. Always be willing to learn. Always learn. And Dr. Eve will definitely be one of those. She is always learning. She's on Facebook, y'all. But she is one who's always learning, always learning. So make sure that anytime that you are looking to do something new, something you've always been doing, if it's some skills, number one, you're going to look for your skills and you're like, I'm a little rusty, then brush up on those skills. Because a lot of skills that we have really not taken full advantage of them. I would have never, ever thought that, to be honest, me teaching customer service, team building, and body language would have gotten me this far. And I learned that just being on somebody's job. I was not certified in any of it. It was that I took it, I showed them my certificate where I had taken the class and I trained on it. All right, so I'm gonna start answering some questions. let's see. Do I think there is a market there for English tutoring online? Yes, actually, I have clients who have their own tutoring business. That's one of the suggestions that I usually always talk about. Yes, tutoring is always English, especially now. Listen, that's a great question. So she said, um, do I think there is a market for English tutoring online? What's happening right now? We are in the pandemic, right? So with the pandemic, guess what's happening? There are a lot of parents who do not speak English, but their children are in American schools across the country. So what do you think is happening? The nanny is also from a different country who probably speaks a little English, but she's not native English. And so now they're at home trying to teach their kids. Can you listen for y'all parents who, I have kids, but my children are 22 and 24, so they're older, right? But for those of you who have smaller kids at home, honey, I commend you. Woo! Lord have mercy. Y'all doing this and trying to work and all that is a whole lot. Okay. My kids would be, listen, day one, if they were in first grade, they would have been in second grade on day two. Okay. They would have, and then everybody would have graduated by now. Ain't no way in the world. No, ma'am. So I know my strengths. Okay. I would have hired somebody, but think about it. You all have it hard. Can you imagine now you have to, your children who have been going to an American school now coming home with all this American English and they're supposed to teach them and they don't speak English. What they gonna do? So my answer is probably when years ago, when probably I think it's been 5 years since she started her online teaching tutoring program. And so that program was needed then, but not like now. Not like now. Yes, definitely is needed. Okay, our German online teacher. I'm not German. So what I would do is I would go in, if I was you, she said, or a German online teacher. I would go into groups. I used to want to take German. Anyways, never mind. Let me stay focused. Okay, so I used to want to do that too. But what I would do is I would go into a Facebook group for German teachers from German, expats from Germany, Germany. I would look for focus groups and I would ask the questions. Is anybody looking for a tutor? Put it out there. So you have to put the stuff out there too. I think that'd be good for you to do. Okay, asking too, because Germany is one of the strongest economies in the world. It is. Germany is one of the strongest economies in the world, but we all, listen, I'm glad you said, I love your questions. Okay, so listen, it is. Germany is one of the strongest economies in the world, but do you always have to go to one of the strong economies? Because also people want us to come to where it's not as strong and will pay us to get them stronger. So don't miss that opportunity. Okay. I got a question in the question box. Okay. You said attend events. Do you mean Zoom events? Because yeah, I mean Zoom events and I mean, events like that. Yep, absolutely, because of COVID. Yeah, definitely not in-person events. No. Any other questions? If you all have questions on Facebook, unfortunately, I can only see some of the comments. I have to figure this thing out. I will go back and answer your questions, okay? Yes, the lesser competition is often missed. Exactly, Dr. E. You're welcome. Any other questions? I hope this was helpful to you all today, tonight, whatever it is. I hope this was helpful, but that's basically how I got started. Everything I just told you is what I did and what I still do. This is what I do to find opportunities. This is how I became an international consultant. And today I still continue to look for opportunities. And now that my brain is it's just like that. Like I just look like stuff y'all are saying is, I see opportunity, you know? You're awesome too, sis. Yay, great. This has been great. Yay, I'm glad. So I need a consultant. What kind of consultant you need, Dr. E? All right, so this is what I have going on, y'all. So I have the book club is Friday. You can is the book club Friday? Wait a minute, y'all, hold up. Yes, the book club is Friday. It's free. You can click the link in the bio, and I think it's one on Facebook as well. And then Saturday, because of my live stream and because of BJ, Black Small Biz, said that she Yes, I will. I'll save it for you. She said she was talking about who asked? No, Audrey asked about my global vision strategy party for Saturday. And honestly, I had taken it down. I had sold out. I don't like big classes, but I had so many DMs from people asking me to open that back up for Saturday. So it's open, but I'm going to close it back tonight and it's going to be it, y'all. Okay. So you can still get into the you're welcome, global vision strategy party for $20.21. Okay. And yes, I took out the word vision because BJ didn't like it, but it really is about strategy. Okay. Did you see the business tab I offered to open? No, I didn't see that. So send it to, I didn't see that. So you can click the link in the bio to join. Again, it's only $20.21. And what we're going to do in there, we're going to talk about strategy because I'm a global strategist. I believe in strategy and I want you to have a global vision. Even if you're like, Wendy, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I think I'm gonna do this business. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just come listen because you might be able to use the information later. And I only do this once a year. I don't do this one ever again. This is the beginning of the year and I don't do it anymore. Okay. So we'll be using mind mapping. So if you never use mind map and you want to learn how to use a mind map within your business, come to it. And we talk about SWOT analysis. We will have fun as well. If you would like to turn it, I'll show you even afterwards. If you want to turn your mind map into a vision board, cut and paste and all of that, you can still do that. But I want to give you the strategy first to go into 2021. And so if you enjoyed tonight's live, then you'll definitely like the party on Saturday. But again, like I said, I'm going to take it down tonight and I'm not going to open it back up. So if you click the link in the bio, then it will be in there. Okay. And you can join and you can still join the book club. It's free. Okay. Me too. A SWOT analysis. I love SWOT. Anytime I go into anybody's country or do anything, I got you, sis. I always do a SWOT analysis of strengths, weaknesses, and the opportunities and the threats. Anything that I do, even in my personal life. Okay. Any questions? I know. Any questions? Are y'all good? I will keep the live up. Again, click the link in the bio. Do not wait because y'all, I'm telling you, like the only reason why I honestly has shut it down. And then somebody's like, please open it back up. And then someone who was supposed to sign up, they didn't sign up. So I opened it back up. And it's only $20. Y'all gonna spend $20 on something else. And I'm only doing this once. I promise you, I only do it once a year. Being very transparent. You will not see global vision, nothing until after 2021. Now, I also have my doing business overseas class. It's actually going on right now. If you click the link in the bio, you can be on the wait list to be in the next one. Okay, so click the link in the bio. You'll see doing business overseas, and you could join the waiting list for that as well. That'll be coming back. Sis, what you say? She talking about. Okay, so Dr. E, and she's talking about she needs a consultant. What kind of consultant do you need? What for what? I don't know what she's talking about. She ain't talking to me. She said I'm ignoring her. I am. I don't know what she's talking about. Any other questions, y'all? A consultant. Any other questions? She is a consultant. That's what I'm giving her a hard time. Anything? Y'all good? Thank you so much. I'm so glad that y'all enjoyed it. Y'all made my day. Well, I saved the live. Yes, I'm making sure this has been helpful to me. This was great. Thank you. Just making sure, y'all, that I didn't miss anything because that is the worst feeling. Okay, yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I answered everybody's questions, right? Will it stay up? Yes, I wasn't going to. I'm going to keep it up, y'all. Hey, Whitney. How are you? I didn't even see you come in the first time. Yes. How are you? Oh, yo, you just want to jump on. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. I will definitely. We need to connect. What are you up to? You need to send me a WhatsApp. I haven't even spoken to you. But yes, I will keep it up under my IGTV, and I'll probably post it to not Instagram. That's not what I'm talking about. YouTube. Oh, you are back home. Okay. Oh, yes, me too, Whitney. Yeah, you definitely gotta send me a message. Okay. It's okay. Just send me a message. Let's see what you're talking about. Listen, I have so many people. Listen, my international people, a lot of us are back home in the US. It's okay. But listen, we need to get together and share our international experiences with people together. I think it's time. It's a lot of us actually who have been overseas. We're home now. Actually, I think that would be really good for us because all of us have been in a different now that I'm thinking about a few people, we've been in a different country. Wouldn't y'all like that? Would y'all like that? What if I got a couple of my international friends from different countries and we share our experiences? Would y'all like that? I think that would be neat. I'm always adding something to my plate. Okay. Okay. That's what we're going to do, y'all. People said yes. I think we're going to do that. I think that would be neat. And especially, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do something for 2021 for y'all. Okay. All right. We're going to do that. I think that would be good for people. Yeah, and I think it'll be good for yep, and have a Q&A. Yeah, I'll do it on Zoom. We'll do it on Zoom so people can ask questions and stuff like that, okay? So I think that would be good. And then if you're planning on going to that country, and even if the people are not in the US, I think it'd just be good for y'all just to hear from people from different countries and stuff. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna jump off because I have a meet. What time is it? My day doesn't stop. I have another meeting, so I had to jump off. And I want to eat something before my other meeting. And I have an event tomorrow. So I need to prepare myself for that. And my WhatsApp is just blowing up, which means I didn't do something. All right. So I'll talk to y'all later. Thank y'all again so much. Click the link in the bio for any services or stuff like that. Stay tuned for 2021. Now that I'm back home in the States, now I've adjusted being back in the States a little bit. I'm getting it together. Listen, I'm transparent a little bit. Okay. This reentry has been something. See. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. That was my alarm. See, I'm old. That was my alarm telling me to do something. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. But I'll see you all. You're welcome. I'll probably come back on tomorrow. I know, isn't it, Whitney? Whitney, let me write that down too. Put a note, Whitney. Put a note about reentry. Let's talk about that too, because people think it's easy coming back up in here, okay, in the States. And so we need to talk about re-entry. I think that's a good, oh yes, this is gonna be so good. Oh, I'm so excited, Whitney. I'm so glad that you came in this live. Look at God, won't he do it? We're gonna talk about re-entry. Yes. Okay, let me screenshot. That's what I do. I forgot. All right, y'all, let me go. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a blessed one.